In this video, I'm going to talk about properly exporting your videos from Sony Vegas so you can upload them to the web. Now, as a note, software like Sony Vegas or Camtasia or any video editing software these days, when you export your videos, you can export them in a so-called web-ready format where they would be immediately playable on the web. For example, if you were self-hosting your own videos on Amazon S3 or something like that, and you weren't using a hosting service, where straight out of the software, you could use those videos on the web. But I'm going to warn you to avoid doing that because video editing software, regardless of the title, really isn't designed to prepare videos for the web, and it doesn't do that great a job of it, even though they can do it. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to export our videos in the highest quality possible, where then we can upload that high quality video to Wistia or Vimeo Pro or YouTube or whatever, and let them do their magic of converting that video and putting it in all the formats so it's playable on the web. And because we uploaded it in such a high quality, when they convert it, we're going to maintain as much of that quality as possible. So that's why we're going to do it that way. Now, I'm also going to share with you two ways to do this: my workflow, and then the workflow that some other people may want to follow as well. Okay, so first things first. Here I am in Sony Vegas, and we're going to follow my workflow. Now, the first thing you'll want to do is make sure that you save your project if you've been working in it. As a matter of fact, it's a good idea as soon as you start working in a video project to go ahead and save it, because video software does crash from time to time. And if you have your project saved, you can simply reopen it. So we're going to pretend that I've been working on a project here and I forgot to save it initially. I'm going to save it now before I render. So I'm going to choose Save As, and I'll just name this guy Test. So now it's saved. The next thing I want to do is I want to go over to my preview window here, and I want to make sure that it's set to Best Full. Okay, that means I've got the highest quality going on here. Okay, so I'm going to export my video, and I'm going to do it my way, my workflow. And what I do with video for the web is I do HD video, but not full HD. Full HD is video that's 1920 by 1080. And the reason that I don't do it at that quality is because it can really cause some problems when viewers go to watch that video, because it is so resource intensive and it's really not necessary for the web. So I jump down to 1280 by 720, which is still full HD, but it's not so resource intensive for the viewer's device or computer. So I've got this set to best, and my project from the get-go was set to 1280 by 720. And I originally did that again so the video playback would be a little bit smoother in the preview window, but the ancillary benefit is in my workflow, I'm going to export the video at 1280 by 722. So I'm already all set. I'm good to go. All I need to do at this point is simply go to Make Movie. And when I do that, Vegas will come up with some options, and I'm going to tell you, ignore all of these and go straight to Save It to my hard drive. Next, you want to select MP4 and choose Advanced Options. Out of all the options they have listed, you will select Sony AVC and Internet 1280 by 720 30p. You're going to select the folder where you want to save it, the name of the file that you want to save, and then click Render. And what will happen is Sony Vegas will now start the process of exporting your video for the web. And this process can take a little bit of time. People are often surprised at how long it takes to export or render video. Well, it can take a long time. It can take, on average, up to 4 times the length of your video, as an example. So if your video is 10 minutes long, it could take 40 minutes to export your video, but hopefully it will take more like maybe 10 or 15 if you have a modern computer. But it does take a while. Okay, so that's method number 1. Okay, what if you want to say, go ahead and you want to export your video in full HD. You're like, man, I got the high quality camera. I want my video of the highest quality on the web. So you want to do full HD. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to go to Project, Properties. And what you'll do here is simply change this to 1920 by 1080. And I know they have some presets up here that you could select, but it's easiest just to switch it like that. And let's say that you shot 1920 by 1080 60p, all right? 60 frames per second instead of 30. You'll go down here and select this guy. Go ahead and click Apply. and click OK. And what do you know? Absolutely nothing changed in our project. The way it looks, the way it's laid out, everything's identical. The only thing that will happen is if we try to play this video back, now we might start running into some playback problems. So that's all that really changes, but it is setting us up for exporting our video. So you would make sure that your video preview is set to best and full. And then we'll go up to Make Movie. Oh, by the way, we'd save our project. I would go Project, Save. Then I go to Make Movie, skip everything else, save it to my hard drive, go to MP4, go to Advanced Options. We'll select Sony AVC. And then we would select Internet 1920 by 1080 30p. And optionally, what you could do is go in and choose Customize Template. And then here for the frame rate, change it like such because we're 60 frames per second. Then choose OK. And then go ahead and choose where you want to save it, the file name, and then click Render. And again, it will take a while for your video to render, but then you will get your full HD 1920 by 1080 60p video exported for the web. So that's how you properly export your videos from Sony Vegas to upload to Vimeo Pro, Wistia, YouTube, and all of the other places.